Well, Jesse,
Well, Paul,
let's try this again. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's a good day to have some Jack, talk about some craziness that's going on in this country, and go from there.
You know, I think that's a good idea. Why don't you go ahead and pour us a little bit?
I'd be more than happy to.
Oh, is that single barrel?
It's a single barrel.
Oh, I like that.
You know, it's kind of a. They ordered a barrel for some of my boys in SEAL team, and they didn't tell them. See, I didn't bring my knife today. See?
You want a knife here?
No, you got one over there?
Yeah, Swiss Army knife, dude.
Oh, there you go.
Never been in a war they wanted to be in. But they make a nice knife, and they make really nice watches.
Oh, they make excellent watches.
So, back by, I guess, semi-popular demand.
Semi? Yeah.
A lot of people saying, how come you're not doing the podcast? And we thought, it got to be quite a chore, especially quite a chore when we're one of the few people or individuals out there that we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're telling the truth. And people didn't seem to like that too much. We found out Jesse was a racist. We found out I was a racist. Found out we didn't know much about anything.
Yeah.
Turns out, being gone for about a year, these two old guys were right about pretty much everything. And I know that sounds like we're a little big-headed, but we can't help it.
Well, we do have big heads still, too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's how it goes.
No hair but big heads. That's because we don't have any hair because we have really large brains and
Well, you know what
push all the hair
the
out.
saying is, hair doesn't grow on a busy street.
No.
It's not busy. So
It's not
I don't
busy.
know.
I don't understand that either. But what we do know is this, that after all that time, we find out that the vaccines did not prevent transmission, admitted by Pfizer themselves.
Yep.
We now know, which we knew before because we had the experts on. We had Dr. Malone on. We had Dr. Bhattacharya on from Stanford University, that masks do not work.
Nope.
And, I wanted to talk about, yesterday I went to pick up this new webcam. Hopefully the picture's a lot clearer and...
Hopefully not with the way we look. Maybe,
well,
maybe a fuzzy picture should be the best.
Yeah, so I know with us it looks like it's only in black and white and not color, or is it color or black and white? I don't know, but...
This guy's a comedian.
But I got the shirt on. Anyway, the thing is, I went to pick up this webcam, and I was telling Jesse yesterday, I did not realize, in our head, being that we're old guys, we're thinking anybody who listens to us is probably our age group. But I couldn't find this at the Best Buy, so I had to ask a young man to help me find this webcam. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want him getting in trouble for who knows what nowadays. You can get in trouble for just about anything. But he said, what do you need that for? I said, well, we have a podcast. I want a better picture when we put it out there, on YouTube and Twitter and Spotify and all that good stuff. And he said, oh, what's it about? And I told him, it's an old Navy SEAL and an old cop. And we complain a lot, but we complain because we're telling the truth. And it sounds like we're just, conspiracy theorists or whatever, but we're telling the truth. Yeah. And I said, things like talking about the pandemic and how masks didn't work. And the last thing we needed to do was shut down everything, lock everything down. And you know what he told me? I almost brought tears to my eyes. He said, sir, he said, I would like to listen to that podcast. He goes, when you're buying this device right here, it kind of scares me a little bit. He says, because for all that time, all I had, everything, school, everything was just on that camera. He says, and I lost friends to suicide. I didn't lose them to COVID. And
We're social creatures.
Yeah.
Although there's some creatures in our social circles that should be put out to pasture, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, when he said that, it inspired me that we needed to come out here and just, basically, we joke around about how we know everything and whatnot. That's not the case. What it is we're speaking for all of you out there who think the same way, who know these things were not true, that they were pushed and forced upon us, and kind of, get a voice out there for the truth. I mean, literally the truth. And it's so hard to do that nowadays because every time something comes out, there you are with these so-called fact checkers, oh, that's not exactly what they meant. No, that's exactly what they meant. You're just, you don't want to admit the
Sugarcoating
truth.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You're making it more palatable to your audience instead of just dealing with it the way it is.
I know. I was just thinking about in the old days, I had this bad habit. I used to do this to blow the hair out of my eyes.
I don't have to do that anymore.
No, unless it's like my eyelashes or my eyebrows, I guess. But the hair in my ears. Yeah. I could do
If
that.
you're blowing it out of your eyes, you got another problem.
Hey, to UFC 295.
Yes. Let's see how they do.
Cheers to all of you who are listening.
Absolutely.
This single barrel.
From good old Jack of the Daniels.
Oh, this could get dangerous. That's pretty good. That's pretty
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Jackie Gleason would say, it's really smooth.
For you kids who don't know Jackie Gleason is, look it up on YouTube.
Yeah. What a way to go. So anyway, that's why we're back, because there's so much going out there, so much, we'll use their term, this misinformation.
Yeah.
And we're going to just get out there and basically try to be your voice. So,
Or at least give you some alternative options to what you're getting from the traditional media and the idiots on your block who think they know everything because they read the first part of the sentence of a 2-page article.
yeah, they never get past that first paragraph. Good point. And it's not another option. It's that you can listen to that baloney, or we can just sit here and talk about the truth.
I like bologna. Why has it got to be bologna?
Or summer sausage, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Let's go.
Well, we're gonna have the Croatian meat sauce tonight on the pasta, so we'll be doing good. Speaking of which, let's have a little fun and
sounds
talk
weird.
about it. No,
We're gonna have some Croatian meat sauce.
yeah. Keep drinking the whiskey, okay? UFC 295.
Yes.
So when it first got announced, they were giving Jones 3-1 odds on beating Stipe. As you can tell, I might be a fan of the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Croatian.
Yeah, well, because we are the chosen people. But so
The question is chosen for what?
to win. I was surprised, and I think a few other people were surprised too. You know what really got me was Francis Ngannou saying, "I don't understand those odds." Like he says, "I fought that guy. I beat him the second time." He goes, "But he hits hard and he knows how to fight."
Yeah.
I won, And while we're talking about Ngannou, before we go right back to the fight between him and Jones, I want to say something. I'm really impressed with that guy. He left on his own terms. He found a guy that knows how to box a little bit, Mike Tyson, to train him. And
I just hope he beats the hell out of Fury.
oh, I agree. It would, for a couple reasons. One, it's it's almost like a redemption for Mike Tyson in a way, because Mike Tyson is a historian when it comes to boxing. And I remember the fight, and this is because we're older.
Mature.
Yeah, mature individuals.
I don't know, maybe seasoned.
Season, yeah, we like
Let's go
season.
season.
Season's better. I remember that fight between him and Larry Holmes. And when you look at the height difference and the fighting style, it's very, very similar to Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
And Tyson not only beat Holmes, but
Destroyed him.
He destroyed him.
Yeah.
He destroyed. And a lot of people think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, okay, but a lot of people think, because Tyson just hits so hard, like Ngannou hits so hard. That's not really the whole picture. The whole picture is Tyson knew how to move and use everything he had almost to perfection.
Yeah, he was
The art of boxing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The art of boxing, he fought as a machine.
Yeah.
When you watch him punch, everything is connected.
Right.
So he's pushing off the right foot, he's turning his hips, letting his shoulder, letting the hand fly. It's like the end of a whip.
Yeah.
And if you get caught there, you're going to get hurt.
Oh yeah. And he's teaching Ngannou these skills. And I think that with the power and the fact that the guy is in excellent shape.
Yeah. And he's got a good head.
Yes. Yeah. He's very, very, very solid in that area. I heard him talking about when he went to sign up for it's PFL now, right? Yeah. and we're going to pay you all this money or whatever. He says, well, one of the agreements have to be that the top edge fighters, when they come to fight, they have to have a minimum purse, $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. One, so he's fighting for all the other guys because he knows how this game works, and you could be this famous guy and next week living on the street if you're not careful, right? But he did that. He said, I'm not going to sign unless we have at least something for them too. He says, because that'll make everything better. And you know what? They agreed to it like that.
Yeah. Well,
but for him to do that, what kind of, what a nice, just not nice, I'd say conscientious individual. Like, he's not thinking just about himself. He's thinking about the sport as a whole.
Yeah. All boats are raised in high tide.
Yeah.
So,
So I was very impressed with that.
Yeah.
I'm watching him train with Iron Mike, and I granted, these videos are short or whatever, but man,
it's just enough. Just listening to it's a different sound when he hits the bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different sound. So it's like, if he hits you, he's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Which is what his title was in UFC.
Right.
He's throwing to what did the GM for UFC.
Oh, Dana White.
Dana White it's like getting hit by two Volkswagens.
Yeah.
Left or right hand. He's got power in either one.
He's a powerful guy. But
he's
like you said, he's got a good head on his shoulders too. He's smart. That makes him more dangerous, much more dangerous.
Well, look, he grew up. He worked in a salt mine or sand mine.
Digging all day.
Digging all day.
Which is, granted, a good exercise, but still.
No,
it is. It is. I think of my buddy Jake. That's what he did his whole life was use a shovel, and he made almost 94, so that's pretty good. And good whiskey.
Good whiskey always helps.
So getting back to John Jones and
Stipe.
So we know that Jones is kind of inventive with how he fights, which makes that's what's got him through a lot of things.
Yeah.
I will challenge that. Although it's officially, except for the one that he got disqualified on, that he's undefeated. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I still think, and a lot of other people do, that Dominic Reyes beat him in that fight.
It's questionable.
Well,
but here's the deal.
Yeah.
To be the champ, you need to beat the champ.
Right.
So unless it's a clean whooping.
Right.
And it's like, I was talking, one of my buddies in Denver runs the Troublemaker Gym, helping kids out and dealing with a lot of old fat guys that want to get back in shape.
Right.
And we were talking about this the other day. Part of the problem is fighters make fights. If Stipe can change the way that he approaches,
right,
he'll give Zingano a hard time.
Yeah.
But if he keeps walking in like he did last time, he's not.
Well, he walked in because last time that worked.
He got,
Yeah. So, and Nagano got better. So, but he is good about the one thing, like even Nagano admitted, he says, once he sees there's he can adjust during the fight. He did that with DC.
Yeah.
If something wasn't working.
Beat up DC, so that's another.
Yeah. But he realized after one punch, he goes, oh, body.
Yep.
And then he took advantage of it.
Yep.
And
I don't him like a rock.
First of all, I don't see Jones doing to Miocic what he did to Gon. I just don't see it, because he's a good wrestler. He says, oh, he might get something. I'll get back up. He did that with everybody, So I don't see that. But what I do see is some shock value when Jones gets hit. He doesn't have to get hit in the head. He gets hit in the body. He gets hit in the arms. Anywhere by a legitimate heavyweight who some will say, oh, he doesn't hit as hard as everybody else, but he's more along the lines of yes, that, and the fact that he uses everything he has. So a little bit more like Tyson. Oh, he hits really hard. No, he used everything he had to make that punch count. I think he's going to be a little surprised. And I keep lingering back to a little over a year ago when Jones was in Vegas, having won like Fighter of the Year or whatever. Hall of Fame. He was going to go in the Hall of Fame. And 2 hours later, he was in the street banging his head on the top of a police car. I mean, just so
Yeah.
I wonder if,
Where's his mindset?
yeah, you always have to wonder about that because, you know, if that's off at all, he's in a lot of trouble.
No, it's not just him. Conor McGregor just got.
Yeah.
He just got off. I don't know how much they paid the people.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. But he just got, and he'll be fighting again. He's going to have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Just pay that off.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think, quite honestly, I think one of the best fights, nervous for me when he fights him, was when Stipe fights Ngannou, was because both those guys are class acts.
Yeah.
They're both, I mean,
Nobody
remember
called out anybody's grandma.
No, and we do this, and they, from all appearances, live a pretty healthy, clean life, you know, outside of the ring. I mean, they were talking there, remember when they were lining up for the weigh-in, he goes, hey, I like that shirt, and Ngannou thought he was like picking on him. And he goes, no. I like that. Have you seen the outfits that Stipe wears? Some pretty elaborate thing. He goes, no, I like that. Oh, yeah. Well, two gentlemen, two badass gentlemen. They don't have anything to prove to anybody like, oh, I'm this or that. They already have, right? But they were just having a nice conversation.
They keep the game clean.
Yeah,
That's the way it's supposed to be.
And then they go in and try to destroy each other. That's how it's supposed to be.
And
that's
then
it.
they shake hands when they're done, give each other hugs.
Yeah.
That's what I love about MMA. Not unlike, the boxing stuff.
No.
Some of it's good, but they need to take a lesson out of what the UFC guys are doing.
Right.
I'm sorry, not UFC, MMA.
MMA, right.
Because UFC's getting a bunch of trash too, and I don't know. It's getting out of control.
I agree. What do you think Jones is going to come in weight at, and what do you think Stipe is?
Oh, I think Stipe is going to come in underweight. I think he's going to come in under what he weighed last time.
Really?
Yep. I think he's going to come in light and fast. And I think Jones is going to come in heavy.
Even though they've been saying that Stipe is huge?
I think Stipe is going to watch. I think Stipe is going to come in.
That's interesting.
I think Jones is going to come in heavy.
See, I think he's going to. He walks around at around 240, 245.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come in at about that weight, maybe even a little bit more. But that if he does, that would be very interesting.
He's got to come in. He's got to come in light enough to be faster, because that was the problem. The fight before the Ngannou fight, he was overweight. He was too heavy. And his punches crushed the dude, but he was taking punishment he should have never taken.
Yeah. From DC?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know. It looks. I mean, you could be right, but 3 weeks ago he was like 245
before the fight.
Yeah,
boom, he's back up to 260.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple biscuits.
Yeah. Well, what he was saying was,
as long as you're under 265.
Yeah. I mean, that's Ngannou's biggest. He's not. It's not like he's fat or anything. He's just big. He's a
big dude.
Yeah. I hope he beats Fury with a Fury. I really do.
You mean Ngannou?
Yeah.
I hope he does too.
I hope he does too.
I'm not a Fury fan.
You know why? And not so much like I'm not that much of a Fury fan either. But it's not so much that it's like Dana White's going to have an aneurysm if he wins, because now you're looking at a mega fight with whoever's
next.
Yeah, whoever is next, and good for Ngannou.
Hey, Dana got money too when Conor fought Mayweather.
Dana makes a lot of money. PFL pays their fighters better. And that's some competition for them right now.
Yeah. Well, they tried to buy PFL too.
Yeah, and it didn't. PFL's got too much money of their own. They don't need to get bought. It may end up being PFL may end up being one of these like with the PGA, where
Live Golf.
Yeah,
don't get me started on that one. All this stuff they said they were going to do to Live, and they haven't done a damn thing.
No,
and all these guys, are at the Ryder Cup. How lame did we look at the Ryder Cup?
Yeah,
we got smoked.
Yeah,
we just look like crap. It's like, you know what? Come on,
money isn't always all there is, but like I do think. You spend your whole life, you shut down everything else except preparing for a fight or whatever. Like there should be some compensation where, hey, when you're done, you don't have to be a mega millionaire necessarily, but you have a life because it's going to be hard to do anything else.
Yeah, there's part of a retirement plan.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
there's no retirement plan,
and that will bring in more talent.
Yeah,
if
you got something to look forward at the end, you're bound to do more work or better work in the beginning.
So what? So you think he's going to come in light? You think Jones is going to come in heavy, which I think is a
Jones is gonna
mistake.
come in heavy.
I think it was a mistake if he comes in too heavy because I don't know that he can. I know he walks around a lot heavier than a light heavyweight, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's his style of fighting. I don't think he wants to be slower.
The camp he's in now
Yeah.
are big on power.
Okay.
And how do you get more powerful?
You gotta wait.
Put weight on.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. It was funny because this Saturday, I was over visiting with some boxing coaches and with some MMA folks and got to talk to Brandon Royval, who's a contender.
Right.
He'll be fighting in December for title.
Right.
And we had a great time. It was a great conversation. Smart kid.
Right.
Real smart kid. But I asked him, hey, what'd you think of the fights coming up? And he was like, oh, Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what he said because it'll piss people off.
Yeah.
If you're a Jones fan, he says something for Stipe, you'll be pissed.
Yeah.
If you're a Stipe fan, he says something for Jones, you'll be pissed.
I don't care. I'll say whatever I want.
That's
I don't. I think. Quite honestly, I think Jones is overrated as a human being.
Who gives a shit if you?
No. But let me just add this: as a human being, and with his psyche,
Yeah.
and he's a very good fighter. But how much of that affects you when you go into the ring? If he's off up here,
Yeah.
he's done.
That's true. Any fighter's that.
Yeah, no, I agree, but he's a yo-yo. I mean, he go either way, you know.
Training with him, doing stuff with him in Vegas, and doing stuff with him in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I can tell you this from firsthand knowledge
Right.
of him and a couple other fighters.
Right.
Is that the fight game isn't just the gym. The fight game is what's going on at home.
Right.
The fight game is what's going on with your family.
Right.
Fight game is it's like, hey, so and so said this, so and so said that. So fighters are really, a lot of them are emotionally. What's the word I want?
Let's see.
Oh, they say, hey, are emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
And they need that affection.
Right.
Pugilism is the only, or fighting is the only way for them to get out that aggression, that anger. Look at, it's like a PTSD thing. Something happens, and all of a sudden you want fight or flight.
Right.
Well, 90% of the people in our country are not fighters.
Right.
I'll leave it at that.
Right.
They're keyboard warriors. They want to say what they want to say.
Right.
Who was it? One of the guys was reading something on, I forget what program it was, but he was saying, "Oh, leg kicks aren't that hard." And then the guy walked over and said, "You ever had a leg kick?" He goes, "Oh, you so and so?" He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He said, "Have you ever leg kick?" Well, no. Bam, he kicks him.
Yeah.
Guy goes down. It's like that's what a leg kick feels like.
Yeah.
So until you've experienced it, you don't know.
Right.
So that's part of the problem.
Well, and I think you hit the nail on the head, and that is that, and what I was trying to get to. So with Jones and Stipe, Jones, you don't know who's coming into the ring until he's there, right?
Yep.
Stipe, he literally, I 100% believe him. Like, I win or lose or whatever, I got a great family. I got a job I love. I'm going back to Ohio where everybody knows everybody and I'm at home.
Yeah.
Jones could have that, but for some reason he's got these demons that if they show up, even though he could have a wonderful life, he'll make it not such a wonderful life.
Yeah.
And it's only him that you can blame for that, right?
That's true.
So that's my point is, like, if he comes in and his head is there, and it's going to be some kind of fight.
Yeah.
But if he comes in just a little bit off, and I know this sounds a little funny, but I think a lot of what Stipe has outside of the ring, Jones would like to believe he could have. And he probably could if he just get his head straight, but maybe some people
his
can't.
new girlfriend has helped him out a lot.
Is that the one that was in Vegas?
That's the one that was in Vegas.
That's the one that he hit. That's the one that got the black eye. That and then wouldn't admit to it. He left, said I'm going to go gambling or whatever. Came back, lost where we got mad. Got in a fight. People called the police.
I think she got in the way of him throwing a punch. And it
At
wasn't
who?
her.
Who else is in the hotel room?
He had other people in there. It was other people there. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't say.
Well, regardless, he was definitely intoxicated.
Yeah, which Dana and UFC told him, don't party, go home.
Right. And he's out there, and there's a video of him out there pounding his head on the hood of a police car like, I don't know, 12 or 16 times. I can't believe, I mean, I don't care what happened. That right there tells me
he's out of control.
He's out of control.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have, or the other, the guy in Ohio is just going home and having some pasta and meat and going to the gym and working out and going to a job that he loves. I mean, I think that's going to be the factor. I really do.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do. Because if it is, it'll be, you and I will know, I mean, we're going to have the fight night here. You and I will know probably 30 seconds when the fight, what's going to happen. Yeah. And it's just be a matter of time one way or the other.
That makes sense.
Let's
wait and see what he does.
Yeah. It'll be a great fight no matter what.
Yeah. Those guys they'll have a great training camp, and then fight night they'll turn into pumpkins.
You never know till it gets going, but I really do think that the mindset and him, if he gets hit once or twice by Stipe, and it does, like I said, body, arms, maybe the head, it's going to change everything. Yeah. His what he thinks he has to do, because he hasn't had that before. He hasn't had anybody hit like that before.
No.
So, but anyway, hey, before we forget, if you're in Colorado, y'all got your ballots out. There's this Proposition HH. I could read the entire thing to you and go through all the details, blah, 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 blah. It's very simple. You need to vote no, and here's why. They're down there at the state legislature. They're lying to you, saying how this is going to save you money. It's not going to save you money. If today or yesterday or tomorrow they wanted to cut your taxes, they could do it like that. They don't need your approval. The only thing they need your approval for is to raise your taxes, and that's why HH is on the ballot.
Yep.
Simple as that. Nothing else we need to discuss. This is a tax increase. Actually, it's a tax increase because what they want to do is steal your TABOR refund.
No, it's not stealing. It's appropriating.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a terminology from the government. It's known as stealing. So they want to take your TABOR refund, and let me tell you something. They have been lying through their teeth the whole time, and if this thing passes, we're basically California. And
which has been the problem all along. Anyway.
All along. You come from California, I want to get out of there, and then you vote for crap like this. Read it very carefully. It will reduce your real estate taxes over the next few years. It's not going to end them. It's not going to make them not go up. It's going to drop them a little bit. But the difference between that and how much money they don't have to give you back, and even more importantly than that, keeping some sort of balance, okay, in a budget. Like if you don't spend this money, you have to give it back.
Yeah.
Balanced budget.
People don't understand.
They don't understand that, and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a huge problem if this thing passes. Yeah. I don't know. Florida's looking better and better all the time. I love this state. Florida's got their own issues. They do, but
Florida's got their own issues. Everybody has an issue.
Right.
So,
the issue here is we need to get rid of all the Democrats. Almost all of them, not all of them. Almost all of them.
But here's
probably
the
a few Republicans. And
having the Republicans to take the damn place.
We do, but they don't have the money because you've got the way the system's set up. You've got
we got Boebert who's doing shit in the.
I said we need to get rid of a few Republicans too, but that's not the point. The point is it's the money and the way the system's set up. The teachers union spends a lot more money than you or I could ever spend on who gets elected.
Yeah,
and that's not right. And guess where all this money is going to go if the HH passes? Guess where it's going to go? Right back in the teachers union's coffers. I mean, that's what this is all about. Oh, we got to get them. We have to get them more money.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Get the teachers more money. Sure.
Not the union.
Not the union. We don't. That that is one of the most corrupt organizations that's ever existed. So, but
Absolutely.
anyway, so no one HH.
And I okay, what else you got? I got to bring something up here about one of my buddies that went through.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, here you go. Colorado.
We
Everybody
may need
says
more whiskey for this
more
one.
whiskey. Yeah, trust me. Colorado is. I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to put it this way. I got a buddy in the military. Been dating this gal for a while. She goes. Let me phrase it exactly the way she asked the question. So we're getting married, right? And he goes, I'm not ready to get married yet. We've only been together a couple years. Let's let it work out. Now, mind you, he's told her this from the beginning. So what does she do? She files a restraining order against him. Now, this is a young guy, and he's...
On what grounds?
Oh, on grounds that she felt threatened. This is a young guy. He came back from Afghanistan. I'm not going to say what branch he's in so they don't give him a hard time.
What does he look like?
He's a big black dude.
But when you say big...
Oh, he's like 6'5", 320 pounds.
And all muscle.
And all, he's got like a 32-inch waist.
He looks like a gladiator.
Yeah, he is a gladiator.
Yeah.
And so he's been with this gal for a while, and everything's been going good. She went to Vegas to a bachelorette party. Couldn't figure out what to do. All of her girlfriends are going, well, you've been with this guy for 2 years now, a year. You're going to have 18 months. So you've been living together. Why hasn't he married you? Now, mind you, all the women asking her this question, are not married. They're single.
So they're experts.
They're definitely experts. So anyway, make a long story short, she said she was in fear for herself and for him. Because he was under a PTSD protocol. So long story longer, he ended up taking all his stuff to New Mexico. Or I'm sorry, I'm not going to say the state because that would definitely jam him up. Took his stuff out of the state of Colorado. He's actually moving out of the state of Colorado.
Right.
We talked about that. I got a news flash for you, people. If you are ever going to go face a judge, have a friggin' lawyer. Spend the money, get a mouthpiece, because they can say stuff to the judge you want to say, but can't.
Without getting in trouble.
Yep. So after seeing that, I brought it up to one of the PTSD meetings I go to with we got about 20, 30 guys in there. Not just guys, there are a couple women too.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them about it. And for 45 minutes, we were just counting off the people that they had known that had gone through the same thing.
Right.
So what the hell's our legal system doing for
red
you
flag
to go?
law. It's a red flag
it's a
law.
red flag law.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And he's got a gun, and he's got this, and he can do that, and oh my God, he terrifies me. Has he ever hit you? No. You've been together for how many years? Couple.
Yeah.
Has he ever touched you? In any way you did was not appropriate?
Not appropriate.
Not appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, why are you afraid of him? Thank God.
Has he ever even raised his voice that much to you? Yeah.
No, he's never raised his voice to her.
Yeah.
And she said that in court.
Yeah.
Well,
But he's a threat.
But he's a threat. And his friends who are in the military, I've had people go by my house, blah, blah, blah. And he told the judge, I don't even know where the hell she lives.
Mm-hmm.
She moved all her stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to work, came back, and everything was gone. It's like, I don't know where she is. I don't know. I said on her mail, he put moved.
What happened when they left?
She called and said she was threatened. I don't know. The whole thing is just, it's just the cop came and looked at him and said, thank God the cop was
a good guy.
From a same branch of service.
Yeah.
And he basically said, dude, in this city, you are fucked if you don't do A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
And he did. And he goes, there's no signs of violence. There's no this. There's no that.
Yeah.
Well, I fear for my life. And I'm speaking this with such emotion now because I was there in court with him. I got to see what happened.
Right.
I got to see how the system does. In this case, thank God, but in some of the other cases, doesn't work.
Right.
So it was amazing.
Well, and just so we're clear, like you're listening to a couple guys who have dealt with this on both sides. I mean, I can tell you, like in California, we just got to go through this real quick. In California, the January 1st, 1986, shows you how old I am. The law in California regarding domestic violence changed from a misdemeanor to a felony, which basically means that before, if it's a misdemeanor, I'd have to see the crime be committed, or someone that saw the crime being committed would have to sign an affidavit stating such, right? Whereas when it became a felony, all I had to do is, or how I had to have, was the belief that a crime was committed and that this individual, whoever it might be, committed the crime, and I could arrest them. Big difference. And New Year's Eve passed, and between midnight and 6 a.m, I took 14 guys to jail for domestic violence. One of the proudest nights of my life. And I can tell you that a lot of the officers actually weren't even scheduled to work that night, came in to do backup because they knew it was going to be like, oh, New Year's Eve, we're going to drink and then beat the wife or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Great night. However, since then, it's gone the other side where the rule now basically is if there's a call and someone thinks they raised their voice or whatever, someone's got to go to jail because they got to, jail because of liability. And that's just not right. You know what? I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been married. You're going to have arguments. No one should ever feel threatened or get hit or anything like that. I don't want anybody to be confused about what we're saying here.
Yeah.
Never. Like I said, 14 guys one night took a jail. I was so happy. But, that's your home. And unless someone's really threatened or whatever, I mean, you should be allowed to speak in your home and, have a discussion or whatever. Plus, quite honestly, and of course, this is coming from a Slav guy who, we're all very loud. If you can't have a discussion in your own home, I mean, is this America anymore, right? Beyond that, it doesn't matter now. Yep. The neighbors call and say it's too noisy over there, and someone comes, you guys have an argument? Well, somebody's going to jail. Yep. That's crazy. That's just, it's gone completely. Right. And it hasn't solved the problem either. There's still way too much domestic violence out there.
Yeah, and this is not a conversation about domestic violence.
No.
This is a conversation about people.
Laws.
About using the law for their benefit.
Right.
And unjustly imprisoning or unjustly harassing someone they were going to marry, they were in love with.
Exactly right.
So then it gets to the point is, excuse me, I'm cynical anyway.
Yeah.
So what the hell is love?
Why would you be cynical?
Well, so what the hell is love? What the hell is this whole thing about? It's like, hey, you don't want to be with a person? Just get the hell out.
No.
It's like, oh, I stayed because he paid the bills.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing I saw on YouTube the other day where they were asking a group of women, and it was hilarious. Would you date a man who made under $50,000? And they all said no. And the commentator said, you're all hoes. And he goes,
oh, I saw that.
He goes, I know thousands of men who have dated women that worked in restaurants as just hostesses.
Right.
They didn't make $1,000. What difference does it make?
Yeah.
Then you get divorced, you get half of his money.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Yeah.
He'd be cheaper off getting a hooker.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere with that, but
see, unlike most, you're a happily married dude.
Almost 30 years now. Yeah,
but see, your wife's pretty badass, too.
Yeah, she is. She's pretty awesome. She's pretty awesome.
Until you piss her off, and then she'll stomp you.
Well, you can piss her off. I'm not pissing her off.
Well, you've learned.
Plus, she's pretty good everything.
What is that? I compare her to the Tasmanian devil.
If you piss her off.
If you piss her off, that's what's going to happen. But until then, she's happy. But yeah, it's kind of like,
she's pretty much perfect. Yeah.
I don't know. Is anybody perfect?
Yeah.
Is anybody perfect?
Yeah.
Really?
Think so. Yeah, I think so.
You got lucky then.
Yeah, I did.
And you better tell her.
Well, she'll probably listen to this and go, you better say that or I'll kick your ass. No, she won't. Disclaimer.
Yeah, really. But yeah, if you're getting in a relationship, think about what the hell you're getting into. Know the background of the person you're dating. Know the whole, the socioeconomic. Are you going to put money into a relationship? Are you not? Are you going to lie to them about, yeah, I've got $1 million in the bank, and then you go somewhere, it's like, I can't afford to do this, I can't afford to do that. Then you don't have $1 million in the bank. Or are you just using that person?
So we just got back from a funeral. My wife's grandfather passed away. He would have been 94 in December. That was amazing. And they had been married longer than a lot of people even lived. They had been married 71 years. And, raised 4 children on a tiny little farm out there. He retired at the tender age of 85. A good life, right? His wife, so grandma, parents, some years ago, were celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary. And I remember walking up there, it's a little town in Iowa, right? Walking up and asking, "Hey, Grandma, what's the secret to being married 65 years?" And that lady grabbed my arm and she goes, "Paul, you got to be poor. Because if you're poor, you don't have the money to go out and look for anything else." And I started laughing and I go, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, but this is the funny part. She goes, for example, she goes, "When I was dating Grandpa here," she goes, "there was another guy that was trying to, date me also."
Yeah.
So he was just going to medical school. He's going to be this big doctor. She goes, and he did. He became a big doctor, very wealthy, owns a lot of land around the area here, right? She goes, "You know where he is right now?" She goes, "He's sitting in a nursing home all by himself because he wasn't good around other people.
Yeah,
he was a good doctor, but it wasn't really good around other people, and it definitely would have been good for me." And so he's got all that money, but he's there alone by himself in a nursing home.
Yeah.
She goes, "And we're here together." She goes, "So who's richer?" And I thought, "Oh, Grandma, you got me there."
Sometimes it's not about cash.
No.
Sometimes it's about commitment.
Yeah.
Commitment, communication.
Got to be poor. Well, just don't tell anybody you got the money. That's all.
Yeah, just don't tell them.
Yeah. So, but
Hey, honey,
anyway.
where'd the Rolex come from? Oh, I don't know. I found it on the corner.
Yeah, the corner. So anyway, there's,
This is the Welcome Back tour.
Yeah, the Welcome Back tour. One nice thing about Colorado, it's going to be in the 80s today. Next Friday, it's going to be like 38 for a high. Yeah. So like the old movies say, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. That's where we're going. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about before we let go, and that was, a little reiteration. So they're already starting to push. And you know what?
Oh, the new vax?
We're not doctors. We're not medical. Well, you have some medical background, but we're not doctors. Yeah, we're not doctors. So talk to your physician, talk to whoever, but ask the right questions, because they're starting to push those vaccines again now. To me, my personal opinion, looks like just another common cold, because that's what COVID is, right?
The virus.
The big thing is, if you haven't read it and you want some backup when people start wearing masks again, it's called the Cochrane Report. And it's very thorough. And as soon as it went out, I knew it was valid, because all the fact checkers came out and said, "Well, that's not exactly what it says." No, that's exactly what it says. Masks don't work. They never did. They never have. They never will for a virus. And a lot of times the argument will be, "Oh, but why do doctors wear them?" I can tell you why doctors wear them. And even that's questionable. Doctors wear them because they're trying to stop the spread of a bacteria. Bacteria is way bigger than a virus. Okay? Way bigger.
And hey, newsflash, you can get virus entering through your eyes.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's out there. Like when we talked to Dr. J, he told us about it's in the animal kingdom. It's everywhere. It's not, and one of the biggest points he made, we should have him on again if we can.
Yeah, reach out to him.
Because, him and Dr. Malone were right on
Right on the money.
Right on the money.
Everything they said was 100% correct.
Absolutely. That the best way to fend off these viruses is everybody being around each other. That's how our immune system works. And when they kept us separate, our immune systems got weaker. Mm-hmm. And that's why some people got sicker, right? Not only that, from a mental standpoint, after talking
we're herd people. We're
right.
herd
we are.
species.
After talking to that 19-year-old genius, and I mean that sincerely, at Best Buy, it was sad, but it was a wake-up call that we need to keep talking about these things because they're not going to go away. They're going to keep pushing it, and all it is it's about control. Yep. You control your own life. The government doesn't. So
no, they don't.
No. Anyway, so two old guys who don't know shit, but been around a lot.
Yep.
Of shit.
No more shit than most people know.
Well, we're going to try to, like I said, we're going to try to do this at least once a week. You have comments or questions, it's it'll be in the comments below, but it's basically
hey, what did Yoda say?
I'm 900 years old. I don't know.
Only do, there's no try.
Yeah, only do good whiskey. There's no try.
That's right.
Yeah, there's no try.
Well, you can try other stuff too.
Yeah,
but
you can.
Don't drink it if it's not good.
But are you ready to roll at gmail.com? Are you ready? The numeral 2, ROLL at gmail.com. And look forward to talking to you real soon. You're going to see me lean forward towards the camera now to stop it.
Oh, there it goes.